Hi, it's Charlie from Stan James. Welcome to a preview of the final major golf tournament of the year, the 2010 USPGA. Just a quick aside before we go into examine the PGA tournament, the PGA Championship, the Ryder Cup. We at Stan James have come up with a market this morning 5-2 on for Tiger Woods to tee up at Celtic Manor for the USA team, and 7-4 he doesn't. Now let's just quickly, I think, examine the facts. He was a really lonely figure on Monday practicing at Whistling Straits on his own, just with, of course, Steve Williams' caddy. There's, I think, more than rumours that they won't be together in 2011. No coach, of course, no Hank Haney, no Butch Harmon, so no coach, and I think he was cutting a very lonely figure as well. 75 and 77 the last two rounds at Bridgestone. Remember, Bridgestone is a golf course which is just absolutely tailor-made for him. I mean, whatever number times he's won, it was no coincidence that he wanted to play at sort of Bridgestone. Okay, it's a World Golf Championship event, but those figures were appalling, I must say, and I think that's 7-4. If he doesn't play well at Whistling Straits this week, if he fails to make the cut or fails to be competitive, I think he's going to say to Corey Pavin, you know, really, I'm not going to be an asset to the team. As a result, I'm going to down tools for the rest of 2010, get my divorce out the way with, and come back in 2011 with hopefully maybe a better person as well as a better player, and get ready for the Masters 2011. So that's 7-4. I think is quite tempting, I must say, that he doesn't tee up at Celtic Manor, but it will, of course, depend on this week. And we bet 14-1 the field. Can you imagine when the start of the season, when he was competitive in the US Open, he was competitive in the Masters, won by Mickelson. Here we would get to the final major of the season, and we'd be offering 14-1, and that's in the each way book. Remember, we at Stan James will be going from this afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, we'll be going up our enhanced win-only market. So do those 14-1 each of two, Mickelson and Woods. They'll be bigger. So again, do look out for that. But in a quarter each way, the first six, remember, we'll be betting a quarter each way, the first five in running on the first day on Thursday. We've got, do have a look at all the markets at stanjames.com. Will be, of course, the match bets, Harrington versus McIlroy, evens each of two, 16-1 the tie. We've got that for all a number, Goosen versus Els. I do fancy Goosen as well. I was taking with him at Bridgestone on Sunday. I think he shot 64, whereas Els' putting, I'm afraid, was woeful, almost yet again change putter halfway through the competition at Bridgestone. So I would have Goosen and McIlroy even money in their respective match bets. Let's just quickly go through. A lot of people think this, remember Yang won it last year, the first Asian player to win a major. He beat Woods going head to head down the final nine. But historically, I think it's, Rich Beans won. You've got Sean McKeel's won. You've got Davis Love were out of form when he won in 97. Davis Toms in 2001 was out of form. But look down his side, a lot of them, and 15 of the 17 or 18 winners of the PGA Championship have won that year. 12 of 17 have finished in the top 11 in their last tournament before it. So it's not the lottery, I think, that many people suggest. But of course, we're coming on the back of Louis Oosthuizen winning the Open Championship, and also Graham McDowell winning the US Open Championship. So the bookmakers have done well. Of course, Mickelson was a poor result for the bookmakers in the first, but it'll be fascinating. This, I say, we're 14-1 each of two, Mickelson and Woods, and that, and as I say, in the enhanced win only market, which we'll have later today, that will be bigger. 18-1 for McIlroy. McIlroy is one of my recommendations. I think he drives the ball well. It's almost a links course-ish. He gives that feel at Whistling Straits, and McIlroy, of course, who's played most of his golf in Northern Ireland, and he loves links golf, and he finished really strongly as well on Sunday, and I think his game is really right. And when you think that you're a nearly man again, I know he had the worst of the conditions on the Friday afternoon at the Open Championship. I think he's an accident waiting to happen. 18-1 each way, first six, or of course that win-only market. Look out for that. 20-1 Harrington. I don't think he's driving the ball well enough. 20-1 Stricker. And again, I'm sorry to say, Stricker is again another person who I would suggest that we need to more than a second glance at. I think the course will suit. You've got to take your driver from the tee. There's very little, opportunity. The rough isn't that sort of bad, unless but of course if the wind blows, it is going to be difficult. I think VJ won the last time, but around about 8 under par. I was thinking 280 score. So we want something that's going to be a sort of really difficult US Open, maybe even par winning this, but it's going to be around about 8 to 10 under par. That's what it's been suggested to me. Hunter Mahan won at Bridgestone, one of the finest exhibitions, if you see it, of scrambling late on, but his driving was absolutely magnificent, as was Sean O'Hare's as well. And they would be two that I would put up. 35 to 1 Hunter Mahan, of course, who won last week, and also Sean O'Hare. Martin Kamer, Goosen's coming into form at the right time, but it is 14 to 1 the field. Can you imagine that at the start of the year? Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods, they're 14 to 1. That's each way a quarter of the first 6, and in the win-only market, they're going to be bigger than that. Are you with or against the Tiger? He's 7 to 4. With ourselves at Stan James, not to tee up at Celtic Manor for the Ryder Cup. If he has another bad week this week, I think that 7 to 4 would be extreme value. Have a good tournament, be lucky.